people, everyone from every section of the society should have the chance to go wherever they want. But is there a way to limit it? I mean to say, this is like a, look at the way road has been expanded. It's like a four-way. 4 lanes are there. So, you can see that. So, is there a way out? Are there any models in the world where tourism is properly regulated and Himalayas don't end up being the most polluted place in the world in summers?
I fully agree with you because there is a limit to which these hill stations can have floating population. Because it's not just that they have rooms in the hotel, or in every room they can have, instead of 2, 4 or 6 people staying. So maybe the families will end up doing that. But then they also need water. It's sewage which will be generated, the waste which will be generated by them, which is really going to play havoc into the sustainability of those hills as well. In fact, I have faced it once. I had gone to Terry's own research center in Mukteshwar, and it was Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the traffic was something like this. It took me 14 hours, which
14 hours?
Take 14 hours to reach there, which usually is 6
and
a half
to 7
hours.
You started from Delhi?
Yeah, I started from Delhi, and I reached Mukteshwar in the evening, and on the way they were just checking, where are you going to stay? So show us the hotel reservation details. And I said, of course, I'm going to my own training complex and I have to be there. But then on the way, like, the car got heated like anything, and I felt that the car had gone wrong, but because perpetually the driver's feet was on the clutch. And you could see that there are fumes emerging out of it. And I was really, really worried. And thereafter, whenever I go, I always say, not on Friday. If at all I have to go, I'll start on Tuesday morning and I'll come back by Thursday or Friday. It's that sort of a thing. But having said that, I'll say it is something. When I look from the viewpoint of, because parents or the kids, they wait for their summer vacation. And when it's vacation, and this year, because the fuel prices are very high and therefore air travel had become very expensive, so everyone is looking for that we should go to a place which is nearby, which is where we can drive. And therefore there is massive traffic jams on all the, I should say, areas which are motorable.
I mean, look at this. This is Rohtang. Sunil, this is Rohtang. I mean to say, it's such a strategic place, and
no, I think what Dr. Vibha has been saying, that this just doesn't show that people want to go there. It also shows that the places where we are living, the cities where we are living, even those are not built for people to really live. Look at the greenery, the way we have lost greenery over last so many years, or our last couple of decades. The city doesn't have places which can make families go out, have a good time, and come back to their own
cities
houses.
have become heat islands. Cities
The
have
way
become
we have
heat islands.
constructed, and that's what is leading to all these people feeling that we should escape from the heat. If we build our cities the way we are building, this will increase, and the paying capacity of people is increasing, and they will keep going to these hill stations. So one, wherever people are living, we are not doing the right way of urbanization, and that needs to change. And secondly, even if people have to go, even if tourists have to go somewhere, one, this car travel restrict that to a specific class and category, and building new highways, building new roads without adequate public transportation systems connecting those systems. Imagine if there would have been better bus facilities from Delhi to these places, maybe railway connectivity wherever we can have. The number of cars on the road would have been reduced drastically. We shouldn't build new highways or these tourist places for cars, but for people. And if we do that, maybe we'll have to do a lot more at the hill stations in terms of solid waste management, in terms of
I think
how
that's
we
a very
manage our
good point. I agree
municipal
with you.
waste.
हर जगह पर सड़क बनाने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. I completely agree with you on that, Sunil. A lot of people would disagree. I'm also joined by Mr. Chandrabhushan. Thank you so much, sir. President and CEO, iForest. We were talking about these visuals that are there. Himalayas, instead of being serene places, have become, it's a deluge of people. A lot of garbage is being generated. Is there a way out? Because the question I asked was, can we have a Bhutan model of tourism? But the second issue is, there is also there's also a cycle of problems. People require jobs in the hills, you can't deny them. So the eateries work and the hotels work. But what happens is, if there is a demand, so you have more eateries and more hotels. It's like those Maggie points, and no pun intended. But the eventual environmental impact is more than what they are getting, and that is not being debated at all.
Well, this is not a, I beg to differ a little bit. This debate on tourism and Himalaya is it's a long-standing debate in this country.
You don't have to agree with me.
Shimla getting overcrowded is a 20-year story. It is not today's story. Mussoorie, you can't go on weekend on the mall. These discussions, we have been working in this field for decades, and these issues have been raised, and this is a thing which comes every season when this happens. If I just want to remind everyone that actually Shimla had a very clear action plan developed for Shimla, which actually ultimately was cleared by Supreme Court. Okay, and one of the fundamental question in that action plan was carrying capacity. What is the carrying capacity of our hill stations? How many people can they accommodate? And how do we, and you are absolutely right that hills also needs some businesses and livelihood. And then what are the ways in which we can increase the carrying capacity? And I think Sunil raised that a very important point. One of them was that you can't have parking slot for 10,000 cars in hill stations like Shimla. And therefore, suggestion was that you have parking in the plains and then public transport for people to move to hill stations. Okay? The cars cannot occupy your hill station. Okay. So I think it is all about how do you plan tourism in hill station which is sustainable. You can't have Bhutan model simply because Bhutan model operates on low volume, high spending tourists, which will not work in our country. Okay. But certainly we can think about some number cap. Otherwise, it is unsustainable. You can't have millions of people going on Mussoorie and Shimla at one point of time. There is not so much waste management system. The water will be stressed. The infrastructure will be stressed. So I think the idea of bringing back the discussion on carrying capacity, thinking about public transport as the mainstay of taking tourists to these hill stations is something that needs to be very, very seriously considered.